people will not be like our esteemed seniors and program partners' presence, a soulful rendition of the song for the insightful narrative.
On behalf of the Naga Students Federation, I hoist this sacred flag for unified dream and glory of Nagas. In fact, this is one of the most historic moments for the office of the Naga Student Federation. Today, I'm really happy, but as well as a bit emotional to see the seniors, the super seniors present in our meet to celebrate this 79th Foundation Day. As I said, this is a historic moment for Naga Student Federation. It was then 1947 where our senior felt that the student body, the youth and the student body to take forward the aspirations of the Naga people should be there. And this is where the pioneers have brought this Naga Student Federation into this light. It is my immense joy and gratitude that I stand before all of you today on this auspicious gathering, the historic 79th Foundation Day of the Naga Student Federation. An occasion that binds all of us in reflection and renewed commitment to the cause that unite us as one people. On behalf of the Federation, I extend my heartfelt welcome to all our distinguished guests, senior leaders, well-wishers, and members gathered here at the NSF Oking Naga Solidarity Park, Kohima, our home, our unity, and the purpose. Today, as we celebrate the 79th of the Federation legacy, our hearts are filled with profound respect and gratitude to the visionary pioneers who laid the foundation of the Naga Student Federation on 29 October 1947. They were not merely as students of their time. They were dreamers, torchbearer, and nation builder who believed in a future where the Naga people would walk this tall with dignity, identity, and the freedom. Their courage to organize, to question, and to hope amidst operations and uncertainty continues to inspire generations of the Nagas. We bow our heads in deep homage to those founding fathers and mothers of the Federation, whose idol of truth, unity, and justice remain the cornerstone of our collective struggle. Many of them are no longer with us today, but yet their spirit continue to dwell in our hearts, in every of the service, in every call for Naga unity and self-determination. We also take this moment to express the highest respect to all our NSF seniors and the past leaders whose wisdom, guidance, and unwavering commitment have carried this movement across decades to change. As we celebrate, we are reminded that the journey of the Naga Student Federation has been both challenging and beautiful. Challenging because we have walked through the storm of conflict, misunderstanding, and divisions. And beautiful because through every hardship, we have discovered the strength of solidarity, the beauty of our shared culture, and unyielding hope of our people. The Federation have stood at the forefront of every major historical and social turning point in the history of our nation's story, raising its voice against injustice, championing the cause of education, and advocating for the rights and dignity of every Naga people, irrespective of tribes and region beyond the borders. Yet, our tasks remain unfinished. The call of the generation is not different from our forebears. It is call for unity among the Naga, for reconciliation among our people across the Naga homeland, and to courage and to rise above all the tribalistic line, political differences, and the divisions that we are having in this Naga society.
Strong and true, hold on fast to our rights and freedom. Naga greatest honor, our heritage so rich. Let this forever be ours. Sing our song together, Nagas come, raise your voices. Sing our song together, towards our rightful place, true healing of our spirit. Kuknalim, yes, Kuknalim. Undimmed by fears and tears, join hands through broken lines. Our flag with dignity shall stand tall in radiance.
When I was asked to share some greetings, I was also told if I could recollect the partnership that MPMHR and NSF has been doing and going through over the journey. When I thought it over and over again, to recollect even half of what we have done together is almost impossible. And even if it was possible, I don't think I can finish it in one day. Prior to the second Naga ceasefire in 1997, the partnership and the relationship between MPMHR as a human rights group, which is just a handful of students at the time, and the NSF as the highest, not only student body, but as the voice of the Nagas at that time, where there was no Naga mothers, there was no Naga Hoho, there was hardly any tribal organizations worth the name. It was, I think, to recollect all those things, I think it'll be impossible. But given this opportunity, I just in brief want to say that prior to the 1997 ceasefire, and even in the 1964 ceasefire, and after that, and before that as well, our working relationship was that as a human rights organization, we often organize protests, rallies, meetings, and touring or whatever. But again, as I said, we were just a handful of student leaders at that time. We were all students. We were in colleges when human rights organization was formed. And it will be NSF who will organize the students to participate in any demonstration, meetings, and so on and so forth. In the 80s and 90s, the amount of demonstrations, protest march, from Kohima local ground to the governor's house, from Kohima local ground to the chief minister's house, the protests at Raza Point, MLA Junction, and all this are countless. Sometimes we have to protest 2-3 times even in a month. All because our people were being getting killed almost every day. Even ministers, bureaucrats were being shot. That was the situation. Indian Army even went to the house of a sitting minister on the Science College Road, went inside the house, dragged out the entire family, and made them stand on the ground. The DGP of Nagaland, the first Director General Police of Nagaland, Mr. Sema, L.K. Sema, he was detained by the army at Chakabama Army Camp when he was returning from PEC after inaugurating a police station. That was the kind of situation. There was nobody even to voice a single voice of protest or anger. Nobody even to write a single press release of condemnation. It was NSF and NPMHR that we marched the dirty streets of Kohima every now and then. And that those were just the working relationship. But after ceasefire came in 1997, there was a very big paradigm shift. With our experience that we have gone through, we thought that we must make this ceasefire work. We understood, even at that time, that there were already big divisions, Naga divisions. There was the NSC and IM, the NSC and KA, the NNC, even those days. But we say that ceasefire must work by any means. And that's why when ceasefire came in 1997, NSF and NPMHR together, along with Naga Mothers Association and other organizations, we started, let us say, 48 hours a day, not even 24 hours a day. We hardly go home to sleep. We hardly go home to eat. We were all stuck there like monkeys in the Naga Club building to make the ceasefire work. And in that process, we called for the boycott, or rather deferment, of even general election in 1998. And there we roped in the Nagaho was formed only in 1998, March 1998. But Nagaho was a group of elders, retired bureaucrats, retired politicians, people who have crossed the almost sunlight of their life. And when we said that Nagaho has to be formed, they started saying, if we take up the chair, we don't even know how to write one sentence of press release or a line of memorandum. Among them, with some secretarial expert, was Mr. Vihoto, who was a retired secretary of government of Nagaland. He was made the secretary of the Nagaho. Uncle Vera was the president. But even at that time, we said, we are there, NSF and NPMHR. We are there to help you. So when they met us in Naboto to form the Nagaho into a PAX Naga organizations, we sent our representative, NPMHR and NSF, not only to help them in the logistics and planning things that, but in the first batch, we even sent them NSN Lota and Kivileto from NSF and NPMHR to be office bearers of the Naga Hoho, to help our parents and elders. That is how it started. And after this was started under the umbrella of Naga Hoho, NPMHR and NSF Naga Mother, including Nagaland Baptist Church Council and Council of Naga Baptist Churches at that time, which covers all Naga areas. It's no matter, it's now called FNBA. All these church organizations came together with us, and together we moved Nagaland, we moved Delhi government, and we tried to shape up things in the way that it should go. So over the years, especially NPMHR and NSF, 97 was the ceasefire. 97 December, we were able to meet leaders of the NSCN, whom we could not even meet prior to the NSCN. forget about meeting. Even to say hello on the phone was not possible. And when we could first meet the leadership, Isaac Amueva in Bangkok in 98 June, we said we must take this as a cue to reach out to the other groups. So 98 NSF and MPMHR, we sought appointment with Burma, with SS Kaplang, who was in the Naga regions under Burma occupation. We waited for appointment for 3 months. We were never given because the message never reached him. Some of their own leaders finally decided to take the risk of escorting us inside Naga areas of Burma in a village where Kaplan could come closest to the border. And that village was Hoyat, which was attacked by drone in July this month, prior to the drone attack next to that this month. So we went and met Kaplang inside Burma and the 7 MPMHR. We said, for the sake of the younger Nagas and future generation, you must keep your personal differences aside. Meet, talk. Even if you cannot merge as one, you must meet and talk for the sake of the future Naga generation. He was very positive. I will meet them in any part of the world. That was his assurance, but practically it could not materialize. But after that, we had assurance. After that, we said, Adino is in London. She cannot be left out. In fact, NNC being the main foundation, PISO group, by any means has to be there. So in 1999, when we got the opportunity to go to Geneva in UN to talk about our situation, we took that opportunity to move further to London to meet Adino and her brother in London. And we said, the present Naga generation is witnessing ceasefire for the first time in our life. And so you must make this work. But there are differences, certain principal differences, did not make it possible. But all of them, or both of them, assured that we will not stand in the way if the NSC and IM can bring solution to the Naga people. We may not support them, but we will not stand on the way. So with that, we continued our journey. 2000 in January, last part of January, we said the Naga leadership, political leadership, may be talking to the government of India. But unless the people of India understand our issue, the government of India will not be in a position to take any decision. They will be too weak. So when they will need the support of the Indian people. And so on that basis, in January 2000, we undertook a journey called Journey of Conscience to Delhi, with 66 Nagas representing from NSF, MPMHR, Nagaho, Naga mothers, and their churches. And we went around in Delhi for 3 days, universities and things like that, different part. And we went to Mahatma Gandhi's graveyard. And we said, for 50 years, you have been killing us. But let us forget the past 50 years. There's an opportunity to find peace. So please support your government. Please understand the Naga issue. We're not trying to secede from an Indian Union from which we were a part of. We were never a part of the Indian Union, and today we're not even trying to secede, to go away from India. But you must understand that our history is different. On that basis, when we went and met some of the Gandhians, they came and cried in the ground where we're sitting and meeting, saying that India has been killing you. We should be coming to Nagaland to apologize. Instead, you have come to Delhi. What a shame. And they cried. And that's how somehow we met the Indian people. We had a procession from Parliament House to Jantar Mantar, and had a big rally to share the Naga story. And following that, in 2002, NSF and MPMHR, since those days, the talks were being held outside India, and Thailand was one of the most frequent meeting places. We said we must sensitize the government of Thailand, the people of Thailand, and they should support the Naga issue. But if they don't understand the Naga story, how will they support? So we went to Bangkok with a cultural theme called Nagas Call for Peace. That was our caption. Banners, who printed Naga banners. Mr. Vipawal Kincho was the president at the time. Achumbemo was the speaker. We went and even went to the National Human Rights Office of Bangkok. The mayor of Bangkok hosted us to a lunch after understanding our history. And after that, in 2006, Vikio was there. We went to Bougainville to study the Bougainville peace process. Because it was only in 2005 that Bougainville went into a ceasefire, entered into a peace agreement with Papua New Guinea. And we visited Papua New Guinea first. We had a 3 days interaction with the leaders of Papua New Guinea, the commander-in-chief of Papua New Guinea, and the inter-relation minister, who was number 2, except that the prime minister was not there, came and briefed us how Papua New Guinea is facilitating the Bougainville peace process and how they're trying to understand the Bougainvilleans. So under this peace agreement, Bougainvilleans were given the choice to either remain part of Papua New Guinea or to become a independent country before 2015 to 2020.
The formation of the NSF was neither due to sheer historical incident nor a mere perfunctory action of the students, but it was the educated youths who felt the need for a collective body through which they can articulate their aspirations, at the same time respond to issues confronting the students and the Nagas as a whole. Thus, it remains the main objective of the Federation to voice the legitimate aspiration of the Nagas and seek its fulfillment through peaceful means. This is the extract from the NSF Golden Jubilee souvenir. The Golden Jubilee of the Naga Students Federation was celebrated in 1997 at Kohima with the theme Rapprochement. And as far as the genesis of NSF is concerned, I shall be quoting solely from the said document, as the souvenir committee then must have done thorough research on the subject. So, very confidently, I will quote from the souvenir as the fact and truth behind the story. I further quote, "Till 1940s, there was no higher secondary school and very few middle schools were there in the then Naga Hills. Therefore, those Naga youths who passed their middle schools had to go either to Jorhat, Guwahati, Shillong, while a few ventured as far as Calcutta for further studies. In the year 1939, the Joint Naga Students Union Jorhat was ultimately formed. So was the Shillong Naga Students Union too. Simultaneously, some more tribal students were formed in the same year. Gradually, the formation of various students' unions in different places have generated great enthusiasm to forge a common platform which led to the formation of Naga Students Union, later to be christened as Naga Students Federation. It was also mentioned that the AO Student Conference, ASC, which was formed as early as 1929, much before any tribal students' organization, played a crucial role in bringing about the common Naga Students Platform. The AO Student Conference on 30th December 1940, in its 8th conference, firstly resolved that there should be an all Naga Students Federation to promote better understanding and cooperation between the different tribal students and literate groups. This resolution was reaffirmed in 1943 and in 1946, where finally Mr. T. Aliba MT, the then President of Student Conference, was entrusted to initiate the issue of organizing the proposed All Naga Students Federation without delay. Thus, subsequent to a number of correspondences and meetings and even postponement to the first, even postponement of the first inaugural meeting, the first inaugural meeting, subsequent to numbers of correspondence and meetings and even postponement of such meetings, especially to have the inaugural meeting of the Federation, the first inaugural meeting was held on 29th and 30th October 1947 at Kohima, where Z. Ahu Zin became the first chairman of the Naga Students Federation. So that was in 1947. Although NSF came into being in 1947, it was not a smooth sail. The 1950s and 60s saw the darkest period of Naga history. In this tumultuous period, no Naga organization could function openly, as all able and illiterate Nagas were subjects of suspicion. I quote again, the Naga Independence movement was at its peak and the Indian Army repression was at its worst, marked by mass groupings of the villagers, shutting of schools and institutions, destructions of properties, burning of villages and fields, and so on. All life activities were adversely affected and everything was destroyed or left in shambles. The on and off function of the Federation is evident from the resolution of the House in 1971, when the Naga student leaders came together again to reform the organization. I quote again from, from the souvenir, that the Naga Students Federation was formed in the year 1947. This federation existed for several years but was discontinued due to political abnormalcy at Nagaland. A new federation was again formed in 1965. This federation too existed for several years but could not function due to lack of understanding amongst the Naga students. Therefore, a fresh Naga Students Federation was agreed upon and formed by the tribal representatives, attending by all Naga student leaders at Kohima on October 7, 1971. The reorganization of the Federation was initiated by students leaders at Shillong like Mr. Pikato Sema, Mr. Benjamin Bani, Zakut Sekr, and others who discussed the matter with the students at Shillong and decided to organize the all Naga students leaders meet at Kohima. It was in this Kohima meeting where the new Naga Student Federation started functioning with Mr. V.B. Zoto Yale as the chairman. And I quote again, on October 8, 1971 at 9 a.m. at Kohima, the Naga Students Federation was formed and officially declared by the then Chief Minister of Nagaland, Mr. Hokiche Sema, and Reverend Longri Ao, the then President Nagaland Baptist Church Council, blessed the Federation. From then on, the NSF continues to function till date.
Abide with me, fast falls the eventide. The darkness deepens, Lord, with me abide. When other helpers fail and comforts flee, help of the helpless abide with me. It's a very long 4-bar. I'll only sing one song. This song, Neingulo our senior, was mentioning about the journey of conscience in 2000. I was also a part of that delegation, and we went to Rajghat, that Gandhi's like a graveyard. So we sang this song. So I was recollecting, and this happens to be the favorite song of Mahatma Gandhi, the father of India. We were not left behind. We were a part of that making of the history. And today we can proudly come and sit and stand here because of that foundation in the history that has been laid for us by our pioneers and founders. In 1947, major events, both in political as well as in trade and business, were happening in and around the world. And some of the major events were partition of India and Pakistan, 1947, the United Nations voting to have separated the Palestinian states into Arab and Jewish, where we call it Palestine and Israel at the moment. Then we have also witnessed history in 1947. The president of the US at that time was Harry S. Truman, very popularly known as Truman Doctrine. Political science and history students, will know better. He was propounding a theory called Truman theory, where US Congress have adopted the policy to support the democratic nation to counter the Soviet dominance, supporting politically, economically, to defeat the totalitarian and dictatorship. Such were the major events happening in the year 1947, besides many. We were also not left behind, dear young friends. In 1947, major events, when the world was having a lot of major events, Naga people were part of that history. On the 14th of August, 1947, our elders, after meeting Mahatma Gandhi, sometime in July 1947, at Bangi colony, it is written so, express our desire and assert our right that we wish to live as an independent group of people, independent nation. So, Mahatma Gandhi, he means no words. And taking assurance from the father of Indian nation, our elders came back, declared Naga Independence on the 14th of August, 1947. And therefore, we were also a part of that history. And what our two former speakers have pointed out is absolutely correct, historically, and it's true, because we have never, ever consented to be a part of the Indian Union when India was forming as a union. And therefore, to call us secessionist or an insurgent is totally wrong, and we will not accept such terminology labeled against us. Then you come back to the present context. On the 29th October 1947, this great organization was formed, established, came into being. And it is said, once you are a leader, you're always a leader. But in the NSF family, once you are NSF, we are always an NSF. So therefore, we are always being invited, called upon to be a part of the program. I'm very happy, and many of our seniors could also make it. So this organization came into being, as already pointed out by the former speakers, to protect our rights, to promote our values, and to safeguard our people and our land. Yes, it is a students' platform. We all understand that. But at that point of time, 1947, you can imagine the amount of suffering that our elders, our people were undergoing. And at such juncture, our elders could form an organization to protect all of us. Today, to the youngsters, what I wish to urge upon and impress upon is, just because you have mobile, just because you have the best computer in your house, you just lay down in your sofa chair, in your bedroom, and write whatever you like. Our elders have undergone lots of miserable circumstances and situations. And today, because of which you can live in peace, you can use your mobile in peace of mind, with peace of mind. And today, many of us, we forget, we don't remember, and we don't even know the past histories. Started writing, commenting in whichever way, in whatever terms and in whichever way you wish to. I would only like to impress upon that our youngsters, the younger generation, must know from where we have come, how long we have struggled, and how long we have to keep on to fight for our rights. Even after the creation of the Nagaland statehood in 1964, I'll just speak for 5 minutes, please bear with me, we have listened quite a lot. Even after the creation of Nagaland statehood in 1964, 63, Nagaland state, many of our friends, families were left outside the parameter, the jurisdiction of Nagaland state. But Government of India was conscious that this was not the final solution to the Naga political issue. And therefore, one thing that they have demonstrated, many of us would wish to call it 16-point memorandum, but since all the points which are being agreed upon in 16 points were incorporated in the 371A of Indian Constitution, and therefore it will be for us to call it an agreement at the most. So in that agreement, if you see how the Nagaland state was kept under, it was not kept within the Home Ministry. It was kept outside the Home Ministry. They call it external affairs. That was a part of the 16-point agreement, which means to say that Naga political issue is not a law and order issue, a problem of the Government of India. It is being officially recognized by the agreement itself. I don't want to go into all those narration from formation of Naga Club 1918 to submission of memorandum to Simon Commission 1929. All those stuffs I don't want to go into. You all know it better. I want to talk in this context. So even in that situation, our land, our people were kept under the External Affairs Ministry. So these are a demonstration of either conscious or unconscious recognition of our rights by Government of India. Some of you have asked me in the last NSF conference whether we should celebrate 14 August Naga Independence Day? I said yes. The answer is yes. Because we have not hidingly done it. I have mentioned, we have conveyed this before we do so to the father of Indian nation, and after which we act upon. And therefore, it is morally correct, and it is also should be legally tenable in the eyes of the international law. Now, in our context, recently I was in Boston to attend one conference. I met some friends coming from India, legislators. They were asking me, from which state are you? In fact, some of them could not believe that we are from Nagaland. That is the saddest part of being a part of India. And when you go through many of us are international travelers, through the passport offices, through the immigration check-in, check-out, our faces doesn't resemble like that of India. So we find it very difficult actually to assert ourselves that I'm an Indian. It is very difficult. This is the situation of our people. And our forefathers, our elders could foresee this. When they have mentioned in the Simon Commission Memorandum that we cannot be thrust upon to a people whom we don't know. Another one hates us because we eat pork. The other one hates us because we eat beef. To that minute detail, they have gone into that memorandum. Do you think your brain can work that much at the moment? Those were our elders, our leaders, who could build a future for all of us. We have inherited a legacy which has to be proudly cherished and carried upon. So, some of them asked me that to which party you belong. I said I belong to the regional party because we have a unique Naga political issue, and therefore I intentionally belongs to affiliate myself to a regional party to keep fighting for my people and for our rights. So that some of the gentlemen started talking to me that actually we are a keen follower of the Naga people. They are also tribals from India, elected members. And we really admire you. You can run your own regional party. You can have your own movement. For us, it is so difficult. Even within the Indian tribal communities, the Harijans, the Dalits, you call it, they have a lot of admiration for us because of our consistent stand, because of our movement. And this is one where our young friends, the students' body, have to carry it on apart from looking after the students' welfare. That will be, even if we don't lecture on that, that is a part and parcel of the NSF everyday functioning. And therefore, apart from that, this is one of the main primary objective of the foundation of this platform, which has been created, organized in a very organized manner by our elders. I was arguing in the House that how government of India kept on giving us stepmotherly treatment. Developmental aspect, other issues, but most of all, those days they call it restricted area permit. Now it is changed into prohibited area permit, PAB. ILB is for people coming from the mainland India to Nagaland. PAB is for people coming from outside India coming to Nagaland. Now they have imposed a lot of restrictions on those people desiring to visit our homeland. This is the way we get treatment, even after becoming a full-fledged state of India. This is the state of affairs of our people. So should we live on like this, or reincarnate ourselves, reignite ourselves, the visions that our elders, our pioneers have laid for all of us? These are the few questions the youngsters have to answer. You have seen how Government of India has proposed fencing of the Naga areas. Our people were divided without telling us. So-called McMahon line, so many lines they have drawn to divide our people and our land. Do you know that the major chunk of our people and our land lies beyond the so-called international border, Nagas area in Burma? The most fertile land is there. The most hardworking people are there. How dare we imagine we leave them out and live on our own? And Government of India started proposing that they will fence the Naga areas. We cannot allow such thing. We are neither animals nor criminals. Only criminals are put behind bar within the demarcated fencing. Nagas are being treated like that. And therefore, we have to rise to the occasion. It is not only left to the political organizations, to the platform, but to the NSF alone, but each and every individuals. You can do in many ways. Some of you can do songwriting, some of you can do poem writing, some of you can write essay writing, some of you can participate in the protest. So there are many ways the Naga youngsters can do to protect our people, to assert our rights. Today, I would like to challenge all of us that as we go on with our journey, our goal is yet to be achieved. Our people are divided, and our unity will be our strength. Our coming together will be our strength. In many ways, we have to mend our ways also, but if the younger generation understands the history correctly, our future is safe and we can march on. One thing I would like to remind to the youngsters of what I keep saying, that a ship is safe in the harbor, but it is not what it is meant for. Thank you and Gognali.
As we walk, we must make pledge that we shall always march ahead together. We cannot turn back. This is quoted by Martin Luther King Jr. With this reflection, let us proceed with the Pledge of Solidarity ceremony. Distinguished guests, former presidents, colleagues, ladies and gentlemen, we take this solemn pledge to uphold our values, principles, and cause that matters to us. Let me remind everyone that we shall take this pledge not for mere lip service, but with all of our hearts and mind before the Naga people and before God Almighty. Our commitment towards our causes, unflinching and unwavering. We take this pledge to serve as a commitment, promises, and our declaration of intent, fostering our accountability. We shall take this pledge for unity, integrity, and for progress of the Naga people, and march forward together and ensure that our commitment is towards our causes just. I would kindly request all of the leaders to kindly repeat after me. We, the former leaders of the Naga Students Federation, gathered here on this solemn occasion, the 79th NSF Foundation Day, to reaffirm our shared bond and solidarity with the Federation. Though we now walk diverse paths in life and service,
We remain connected in heart and purpose to safeguard the common interests of the Naga people. Guided by the enduring spirit of the NSF Preamble, we pledge to uphold the values that have shaped our collective journey, to cherish and to celebrate our rich cultures, customs, and heritage, to nurture moral and social harmony, and to uphold the ideals of unity, fraternity, and cooperation among all Nagas. We stand together in shared pride and purpose to stand in solidarity with the Federation in carrying forward its noble legacy. May this day remind us of the roots that binds us, and may the spirit of solidarity continue to inspire us to work for the progress, dignity, and unity of the Naga people. Wherever we may be, and in all that we do. Kuknalim, thank you so much.